So it's funny, I was literally going to make a video today just kind of going over who I thought was going to be the Patriots QB next season and potential options there. But a couple moves have happened today that make it a lot more clear. So I thought it was Stidham from the beginning, but based off of information that came out today, it seems like it is going to be Stidham. So the Patriots signed Brian Hoyer earlier this afternoon. And I think that makes a lot of sense, but he's definitely only going to be there as a safety valve, as a guy who knows the system, who's been here before, and if he needs to, can come in and play. But I definitely think Stidham is going to be the guy who has the job coming out of training camp. Stidham just makes the most sense. I personally didn't really want a gap guy. I didn't want to go out and get someone in free agency that's only going to be here a few years and isn't a long-term solution. If it wasn't going to be Brady, which it's not anymore, I wanted to either go with Stidham or draft somebody. They still might draft someone, but it seems like for now, Stidham is the plan. And it makes sense because you want a franchise guy. You know, we don't know if he is or isn't, but you want to figure that out. So give him a chance. And if he's not, move on to someone else. But a franchise QB is like the most important thing in the NFL to have. And I think we need to be looking for that next guy. It also makes sense because Stidham is very cheap. He's on his rookie deal. He has a minimal cap hit. Another thing that came out earlier today is Mike Reese says that Bill's plan is to reboot the roster rather than rebuild it. Rebuilding would take a lot of time. Rather than erase everything and start over, Bill's plan is to turn the page and just reboot it with cap space. I saw in Reese's report that next year, if they do things correctly, the Pats could have about $100 million in cap to completely revamp their roster. And I think that's a smart thing to do. There's no way Bill would still be around if the plan was to just tank and take years and years to rebuild. So I think they're trying to turn things around as fast as possible, and this is the way to do it. So I think Stidham's the guy who's going to be starting. Hoyer's the backup. They could still potentially sign someone in free agency, but I feel like if they were going to, they already would have. I mean, the options really aren't great in free agency. And I was laughing at some of the things I was seeing, you know, on social media and stuff. I was seeing a lot of Cam Newton.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Who is older now, he's injury prone, and he hasn't been very good in a while. And then the one that was making my head scratch a lot is Andy Dalton.
No!
I don't know why a lot of media members were pretending that he was good. He's not. He hasn't had a good year in I don't even know how long. And I don't know why people thought if he was with Bill that Andy would just magically become a superhero. You have to have talent to work with, and I just don't think Andy is that guy. Somebody who I do think has talent, who I would actually be okay with, and this is going to be unpopular, but I would be okay with Jameis Winston.
You know what? No. Well,
I know, the guy is a walking turnover. As somebody who watched many of the Bucs games last year because I had a love-hate relationship with Winston on my fantasy team, he makes really good plays a lot of the time. It's just when he doesn't make really good plays, they are really, really bad plays, and there's not much in between. I mean, the guy threw 30 picks and 7 pick sixes. My quarterback threw a pick six almost every other game. I would lose my mind. But like I said, I think Jameis is talented, and I think Bill would be able to help him lower those turnovers. I think a lot of the reason why his turnover rate is so high is because he's always trying to play hero ball, and he doesn't have to do that with the Patriots. But regardless, I would not be upset. But yeah, it seems like Stidham's the guy. If Bill and the team is confident in that, then to a certain degree I am as well. I am interested to see what he can do as a starter, and I'm also very interested to see how Bill handles this whole thing, because now that Brady's gone, you know, every decision that the Patriots have made over the past 2 decades, there's been input from Bill and there's been input from Brady. And the two sides, I don't want to call it a tug of war, but they always both had say in stuff. Now that Brady's gone, Bill has complete control and can do basically whatever he wants. He has the freedom to mold this team the way he wants. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see how he operates without the GOAT. But yeah, bottom line, I think Stidham, I think it's clear that they're going with Stidham as the starter, and I think that's the right move. He's young, he has potential, he's cheap, and they need a year for more cap space to open up. So I don't know if this year is, I wouldn't call it a wash because I don't think they're going to be bad or anything. I'll form my thoughts on that as we get closer and the final roster comes together. But it seems like what Bill is planning fully kicks in next off season, but we'll have to see about that one. But they are kind of limited in what they can do right now. Under these circumstances, I do think they are making the right move. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that. What do you think? Who do you want to be the quarterback next season? Do you think it's going to be Stidham? Does that excite you? Does that annoy you? Let me know in the comments. As always, like and subscribe. And yeah,